बताएं।
पोर्टुगीज के जो 4 ट्रेडिंग सेंटर्स थे, उनको सर नॉर्थ टू साउथ या साउथ टू नॉर्थ एक बार सीक्वेंस बता दो।
किसका? पोर्टुगीज के किसका?
पोर्टुगीज का।
ठीक है, बता देते हैं, 2 मिनट। ठीक, तो पोर्टुगीज का आप पूछ रहे हैं ना? पोर्टुगीज का ये पोर्टुगीज के सेंटर्स ये है। ईस्ट में देखा है तो बंगाल आ जाएगा, मतलब हुगली हो जाएगा, और गुजरात में सूरत हो जाएगा, आगरा में भी इन्होंने अपना सेंटर खोल रखा था। इसका मतलब यह है कि अंग्रेजों के आने से पहले सभी महत्वपूर्ण ठिकानों पर पुर्तगालियों का नियंत्रण था। आगरा, हुगली, मछलीपट्टनम, सूरत। ये सब केरला के कोस्ट पे है, सब केरला सीक्वेंस में। कालीकट, कोचीन, कैन्नौर और क्विलोन सब केरला के कोस्ट पे है। हाँ, वो तो ऊपर, हाँ, यहाँ पर आ जाएगा, दमन यहाँ हो जाएगा, ठीक है नहीं? तो yesterday we have started the topic profile of 18th century. 18th century. Or can you name the historian? Can you name that historian who had given a good analysis of this century? विलियम डनलेपिल। और किताब का नाम क्या है? द एनार्की। तो उसका एक चार्ट बनाया जा रहा है, जस्ट मेक ए चार्ट ऑफ इट। दिस इज़ द हिस्ट्री ऑफ द होल 100 ईयर्स, यू नो। पूरा ये एक तरह से इट इज़ ए बेस ऑफ मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री। यहाँ सब कुछ आ जाएगा, और ये टॉपिक से हर साल 2 से 3 क्वेश्चन मिल जाते हैं, और ये बेस है, मतलब मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री का पूरा बेस है ये। तो वी कैन डिवाइड इन दिस वे। So what was the nature of the 18th century? We can say the first is disintegration of Mughal Empire. सेकेंड चेंज क्या देखते हैं उसमें? So what is the nature of the 18th century? On one side we find the empire is disintegrating, और जब empire disintegrate होता है, we have series of recurring foreign invasions. देखा आपने, Marathas are the power of Deccan, but in this phase we find Marathas are evolving as a great force in the North India. Because the empire is disintegrating, we find the ambitions of the Marathas is increasing, and the ambitions became so bold, now they are trying to fill the vacuum. That is, they were evolving as a great power in North India. On one side we find the French and the English. They also started having some political ambitions, arising political ambitions among the French and the English. So politically we have divided this whole 100 years of history, 18th century means 1701 to 1799. So this was the nature, and now we can discuss each. The first is now we are going to discuss the first point, how we can justify the empire is disintegrating. This means the disintegration of Mughal Empire. Here we can further divide. We can further divide this. When the king were very capable before Aurangzeb, we don't find any factionalism. But once Aurangzeb had died, some bureaucrats became so ambitious, they made their own groups. And this tendency is called as Gutbaji. Gutbaji, factionalism in the Mughal bureaucracy. See how powerful they became, They were playing the role of kingmakers. The same group were playing the role of kingmakers, and now the Mughal kings are reduced to become the puppet. So this group became so strong, Now they are the kingmakers. Just imagine what were the days now. How humble days are there. One time we have the king like Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb. But after Aurangzeb, their conditions became very pitiable. Gradually it will collapse. तो वी हैव फैक्शनलिज्म. तो यहाँ पर हम लोग डिस्कस करते चले जाते हैं, क्योंकि इसमें इन द सेम पॉइंट वी विल हैव 3 and 4 पॉइंट्स. तो फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज, इसमें मार्कर में इंक शायद ख़त्म है इसमें. तो हियर यू विल फाइंड दैट वी आर हैविंग three main factions, you should know it. Often a question is coming in the prelims from here. So together we can say there were 3 popular groups. One was called as The most popular group was called as, it is a group which is nicknamed as Indian Muslim, means those bureaucrats who had taken birth in India, their ancestors had taken birth in India, and they used to call them as Bharatiya Muslim or Indian Muslim, and their leaders were two brothers. They were two brothers, they were called as Sayyid brothers. Marker ले लीजिएगा. Can you name them? Are you aware of it? Who were the two brothers? Abdullah and Hussain Ali. So they were two brothers, they were called as Abdullah and Hussain Ali. It means now they are appointing the king of their choice on the office, and once the king is placed, they are dictating the king, and you may surprise to know they became so powerful that they are forcing the king to give them an important office. He became the wazir and he became commander-in-chief. They are appointing the king and they are taking their office on their own, you know. एक भाई वजीर बनता है, एक भाई बन जाता है सेनापति. And now the king is at their mercy. You may surprise to know, after Aurangzeb, from 1713 till 1719, they had appointed around 6 Mughal kings, and the kings were working under their dictations. Whatever they are dictating, the king is working. So first try to understand their names. The first group is called as Indian Muslim. They were very tolerant because they got the support of Hindu bureaucracy also. So this is the most popular group because they got support of the Hindus also. That is why this group was very popular. The second group is called as bureaucracy is also called as noble. So we have three groups of nobles. One is Indian Muslim, second is Turani. Turani is a territory in Central Asia. Thank you. Turani is a territory in Central Asia. So those nobles who have their origin in Central Asia, they used to call them as Turani, and this group was led by I think you are aware of him. He is the first Nizam of Hyderabad. So he is Chin Kulich Khan. So this group was led by Chin Kulich Khan, and he made Hyderabad as his hereditary land, He is calling him as the first Nizam of Hyderabad, Chin Kulich Khan. In this group, the other popular leader was the Nawab of Awadh. You can also write his name here. So these two, Chin Kulich Khan and Sadat Khan, were the leaders of this group, which was called as Turani faction or Turani groups of nobles. And the third group was called as Irani, those who have their origin from Iran, that is Persia. So together we have three famous groups: Sayyid brothers, that is Indian Muslim, Turani, and finally last is Irani group. After death of Aurangzeb, this group, firstly we find this group came into popularity After Aurangzeb, he appointed Bahadur Shah as a king, but gradually his power got suppressed by this group. This group is called as Indian Muslim group, and Sayyid brothers, as we have discussed just now, they had wide support of the Hindus also, and Hindus were in majority basically. So this group became very powerful, and you may surprised to know that from 1713 till 19, for 6 years, they had placed around 6 kings on the throne of Delhi. And the last king placed by them was Muhammad Shah Rangila. He was really fed up of them because they were dictating like anything. So there was a king by the name Muhammad Shah Rangila, which we have discussed, I think, yesterday. So Muhammad Shah Rangila was a king in 1719. He was put by the brothers, but he really got fed up by the Sayyid brothers. So what he did, you know, he made a conspiracy. With whom? With this group. Because all were fed up by Sayyid brothers' domination. And by this conspiracy, this group was eliminated. You can write this point here. Gradually, it was Muhammad Shah. It was Muhammad Shah. He is a king. Muhammad Shah, who with the conspiracy of the Turani nobles, who with the conspiracy of Turani nobles, eliminated the Sayyid brothers in 1719. The Sayyid brothers in 1719. तो प्रिंस में आपसे पूछा जा सकता है कि सैयद बंधुओं की हत्या किसने करवाई, तो मोहम्मद शाह रंगीला और ये ग्रुप था, इन लोगों ने कॉन्स्पिरेसी किया. Just you can write some other fact also. It was due to the influence of Sayyid brothers. It was the influence of Sayyid brothers that I think you are aware of the term. बताइए क्या होता है, जजिया सुना है आपने थोड़ा? Levied on whom? Non-Muslims. And can you tell me who was the first king in the Hindustan? This question has not been raised by UPSC till now. I am giving you option. Just the question is like this: who was the first king in Hindustan who had levied this from non-Muslims? Option is like this. First is you can say Muhammad Ghori, and second option is Muhammad bin Qasim, and third is Firoz Tughlaq, and fourth is none of these. थोड़ा गैस करिए, सबसे पहले मुस्लिम इन्वेजन किसका था बताइए? अरब इन्वेजन भाई 712 में. द फर्स्ट इन्वेजन इन द हिस्ट्री ऑफ इंडिया, मुस्लिम इन्वेजन इज कॉल्ड एज इन्वेजन बाय अरब्स. ईयर क्या है उसका? 712. अंडरस्टूड है, कुछ सोचना ही नहीं उसमें, जो पहले आएगा वही लगाएगा भाई. तो ये क्वेश्चन अभी भी अवेटेड है, हम कंफ्यूज कर सकते हैं, बट याद रखिए, लॉजिक लगाइए, सबसे पहले जो आएगा वही लगाएगा. एंड द फर्स्ट इन्वेजन बाय अरब्स, ईयर क्या? 712. वही आंसर हो गया. बट हिज रूल वॉज वेरी कॉन्फाइंड टू ओनली मुल्तान एंड सिंध. इलाका भले छोटा है लेकिन लगाया तो उसी ने है पहली बार. बट लेटर यू नो ग्रेजुअली ऑल किंग्स हैव इम्पोज. अकबर ने इसको हटा दिया था. कब हटाया था? 1564 में अकबर ने इसको हटा दिया, बिकॉज अकबर वांट टू गेट द सपोर्ट ऑफ द मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द सेक्शन. अकबर वॉज अ वाइस किंग, ही वॉज अ फर्स्ट साइटेड किंग. ही नो इंडिया कैन नॉट बी गवर्न बाय दिस वे. ही वांट टू गेट द गुडविल सपोर्ट ऑफ ऑल द इंडियंस. तो अकबर रिमूव्ड इन ईयर 1564 और वो हटा रहा. बाद में औरंगजेब ने इसको री इम्पोज कर दिया. औरंगजेब ने हैड री इम्पोज. तो जजिया की स्टोरी है, सबसे पहली बार कब लगाया गया? यहाँ लगाया गया मोहम्मद बिन कासिम ने. अकबर ने इसको हटा दिया, बाद में औरंगजेब ने फिर लगा दिया. although Aurangzeb came in office, you know, it is a very interesting point. सुन लीजिएगा इसको. Aurangzeb acquired the office in this year. Aurangzeb became the king in this year. We cannot say Aurangzeb was right from starting. He was very having jealousy with the Hindus. We cannot say like this. अगर वो ऐसा होता तो शुरू में ही जजिया लगा देता. Aurangzeb is coming into office in this year. Why he is waiting for 79 years? 21 years. जजिया कब लगाता है वो? इंटरवल कितना है इसमें? 21 years. Aurangzeb came in office and he is imposing jizya. So we have an interval of 21 years. So modern researchers have proved that right from starting he was not trying to punish the Hindus. Some reasons were there, and the most important reason was that in this year what happened, you know, Aurangzeb witnessed Rajput revolt, who were the pillars of Mughal Empire. Aurangzeb witnessed राजपूत रिवोल्ट, और जो आपके पिलर हैं अगर वही रिवोल्ट करेंगे तो औरंगजेब couldn't control his emotions. Now he want to teach a lesson. So that is why it is very interesting why he imposed in this year. तो ये कहाँ थोड़ा मालूम होना चाहिए आपको. तो देखा आपने औरंगजेब ने फिर लगा दिया. कब लगाया इसको? 1679 में, and was going on. But finally after death of Aurangzeb, this group Indian Muslims, that is Sayyid brothers, asked the king by the name फिर से जजिया हटा दिया गया. तो औरंगजेब के बाद जजिया किसने हटाया? उसका नाम है जहांगीर शाह, एंड it was the influence of whom? It is Sayyid brothers, because Sayyid brothers were having good support of the Hindus and they want to get the support of the Hindus. Hence they forced the king, because the king is puppet. अभी यहाँ पे लिखा है यही लोग king को बना रहे हैं. तो they asked the king to remove jizya, and jizya got again removed. So sometime effect may arise by UPSC like this and this. You should be aware of it. सबसे पहले कासिम ने, उसके बाद अकबर ने हटा दिया, फिर औरंगजेब ने लगा दिया, फिर इसको हटा दिया गया. तो देखा आपने मुगल एम्पायर में फर्स्ट what thing we have noticed. Now we find the groups are playing the role of kingmakers. This is the first point. Second point इसी के अंदर हो जाएगा. From the Mughal Empire, when the Mughal Empire, you know, after Aurangzeb, what we are noticing, from Mughal Empire, India is witnessing the birth of successor states. Can you name them? ये मुगल राज के राज्य थे. दे वर द प्रोविंसेस ऑफ मुगल एम्पायर. बट सिंस एम्पायर बिकेम वेरी वीक, दे आर वेरी फार अवे फ्रॉम दिल्ली. दिल्ली से बहुत दूर है. तो एम्बिशियस गवर्नर्स, मीन्स गवर्नर ऑफ बंगाल, गवर्नर ऑफ अवध, गवर्नर ऑफ हैदराबाद, डिप्टी गवर्नर ऑफ कर्नाटक, दे बिकेम सो एम्बिशियस that they are making their state as semi-independent. We cannot call as complete independence. We will use the word semi-independent because at least some respect is there. Otherwise, they could have called themselves as King of Hindustan. So, who made Bengal as autonomous? Can you name the person? Murshid Quli Khan. Murshidabad उसी ने बसाया है. And he made Murshidabad as a capital. The first, earlier the capital was Dhaka. So if you want to write the name, you can write the name there itself. वहीं ब्रैकेट में लिख लीजिए, ऑर्डर में लिख लीजिएगा. ऑर्डर में क्या होगा? पहले इसका आएगा, फिर इसका आएगा, फिर इसका आएगा. तो बंगाल became semi autonomous under Murshid Quli Khan. And who made Awadh as semi independent? Sadat Khan. SAA. Saadat Khan. हैदराबाद इज चिन कुलिच खां, जिसका नाम अभी लिखा है निज़ाम. ही इज कॉलिंग दैम हिम एज फर्स्ट निज़ाम ऑफ हैदराबाद. चिन कुलिच खां, CH नाम पहले आज आया है नहीं आया? ये हैदराबाद का है भाई. और आपको मालूम होगा डेक्कन इज वेरी लार्ज प्रोविंस, यू नो. यहाँ पर 2 ऑफिस थे, गवर्नर और डिप्टी गवर्नर. तो गवर्नर इज सिटिंग इन हैदराबाद, हिज नेम वाज चिन कुलिच खां, एंड कर्नाटक वाज कंट्रोल बाय डिप्टी गवर्नर. आई एम स्लिपिंग द नेम, कर्नाटक का नाम ध्यान नहीं आ रहा बात. हाँ, ये सादातुल्ला खां. कर्नाटक में इट इज सादातुल्ला खां. दैट मीन्स मुगल एम्पायर के अंदर द एम्बिशियस गवर्नर्स आर मेकिंग देयर स्टेट एज हेरिडिटरी. नाउ इट इज हेरिडिटरी. अर्लियर इट वाज नॉट अलाउड. तो वी कॉल देम एज सक्सेसर स्टेट्स. सक्सेसर्स, दे आर टेकिंग बर्थ फ्रॉम द ruins ऑफ द मुगल एम्पायर. And one thing is interesting here, how it had happened. To try to understand this point, you know, India, even today, you know, India में we have Indian Constitution is unitary and federal both. आज हम देखें भारतीय संविधान कैसा है, यूनिटरी भी है, फेडरल भी है. फेडरल मतलब every state is having its assembly, we have a state list. Even today, you know, we cannot compromise with the integrity. Every state is having a governor. आज हर राज्य में गवर्नर होता है. गवर्नर कौन होता है आपको मालूम होता है? Agent of central government. In Mughal Empire, you know, Akbar was the king who had laid the deep foundation of the empire. In times of Akbar, every state was having 2 officers. अकबर के काल में क्या था? हर राज्य में 2 अधिकारी होते थे. एक का नाम ये है, every state was having these 2 officers and they were not under each other. They used to play the role of checks and balances. Just imagine the king is sitting in Agra. How he can know what is going in Dhaka, what is going in Guwahati, what is going in Surat? So what he did, you know, Akbar evolved this system. He appointed 2 officers who were enjoying the equal status. They had to report to the king of Hindustan. इनका सैलरी भी बराबर है, स्टेटस ही बराबर है. सूबेदार मतलब क्या होता है? एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का. दीवान मतलब फाइनेंशियल हेड. They were not junior to each other. They were enjoying equal respect. What will happen? They will keep checks and balance. So that the king will be aware what is going in Dhaka. Suppose Diwan is under him, Subedar become ambitious. अकबर ने इसलिए ऐसी व्यवस्था बनाई थी, पूरे भारत में क्या हो रहा है जानकारी मिलती रहेगी. These 2 officers were enjoying equal rank, that is checks and balances. औरंगजेब के बाद क्या होता है? The king were very incapable. They were short-sighted. What happened? They gave both offices. इन दोनों को जोड़ दिया जाता है. After औरंगजेब what happened? The ambitious governors. गवर्नर को हम ये बोलते हैं. In मुगल ब्यूरोक्रेसी, गवर्नर इज कॉल्ड एज सूबेदार. तो औरंगजेब के बाद क्या होता है? जो महत्वाकांक्षी सूबेदार थे, उन्होंने बादशाह से कहा हमको ये भी पद चाहिए, मतलब दोनों मिल जाएगा. अब कोई देखने वाला नहीं है बंगाल में क्या हो रहा है, हैदराबाद में क्या हो रहा है. Once they become ambitious, they can challenge the king, or it means they can make their own independent state, semi-independent state, and the same happened. तो ये आपको मालूम होना चाहिए. तो how we can justify the empire is disintegrating? We have discussed rise this factionalism was going on. Some states had taken birth, which are called as successor states. Similarly, thirdly, we can say birth of इन द सेम फेज वी फाइंड कुछ विद्रोही राज्यों का जन्म हो जाता है. Example. Although Jat were revolting right from time of Aurangzeb, but here we find they had made a former state. Capital was, even today you can see the fort of Bharatpur. And here the contribution goes to this famous Jat king. His name was in 18th century it was Suraj Mal who made a formal Jat state, and he is also called as Plato. Means he was very wise. He was very wise and far-sighted. Hence he got this title by the historians. Plato of Jat community. He is called as a Plato.
Sir, but he never did the foundation, led the foundation of Jat community.
No, but formally, before him, we have series of Jat, right from Gokul, Churaman. But here we find, since due to his far-sightedness, he is called by this title. He is called as Plato of Jat tribe. In 18th century, the point is 18th century. Besides Jat, we have in this 18th century we find the Sikh state, and the contribution goes to the famous disciple of Gobind Singh. Keep in your mind, the gurus were not king. We have series of 10 gurus, but they are not king. They are simply saints. And I think you are aware of the point. All sons of Gobind Singh had died fighting Aurangzeb. Gobind Singh ke sare. That is why Gobind Singh before his death had declared, after his death, office of Guru shall be abolished. And he advised one of his trusted follower, name was Banda Bahadur. He asked one of his follower, Banda Bahadur, to provide safeguard to the Sikh community. And Banda Bahadur made the first political state of Sikh, but he never called him as king. But at least we can call it a state. Sikh state by Banda Bahadur. You can just write this way. He never called him as king. He governed in the name of Guru Gobind Singh. He was governing in the name of Guru Gobind Singh. I think you are aware of the point. He was executed by which Mughal king? Banda Bahadur got killed by which king? Farooq Shiar. वो भी लिख लीजिए आप. But later in 1717 he got assassinated, that is he got killed by, assassinated by Mughal king Farooq Shiar. So sometimes these type of facts can be raised by UPSC.